Barack Obama, when he was in office, a lot of African American people felt like he didn't do anything for black people.
Yeah, so do you have an agenda for black voters?
The black agenda has to include HBCUs
Mm-hmm.
and looking at the historical fact that when the federal government gives attention to HBCUs, we end up having a profound impact on black people in America. Part of it is what I was describing about focusing on families that are making less than $100,000 a year. Part of it is focusing on what we need to do around reform of the criminal justice system, understanding that the mass incarceration policies of this country have led to black and brown men in particular. The issues that range, that exist, that need to be addressed and prioritized include everything from education to the healthcare system to the criminal justice system to the economy. People need to understand that when we talk about the agenda for Black America, that is about America.
Yo, man, what's up? Hit that thumbs up button. So this is a little everybody. So they acknowledged that Kamala Harris, or Kamala Harris, however you want to pronounce it. Rest in peace to the wrestler Kamala, the real nigga. But they announced her as Joe Biden's running mate for the 2020 campaign, and a lot of stories are now being resurfaced. I say resurfaced because a lot of this dirt that people are saying has been unleashed. A lot of this stuff was already unleashed a year or two ago. Remember, not too long ago, this woman just dropped out of her campaign because she was trying to run for president, and nobody bought it, and she had to drop out. Nobody wasn't fucking with her. Now all of a sudden, y'all got her support. You know what I'm saying? I really don't like the division that they're trying to cause between black men and black women, trying to make it a thing about it. This ain't got nothing to do with race or gender. A lot of us just don't buy into it. It's phony. She's phony. It's face value. It's Obama 2.0 type shit. And you can't guilt me into voting for someone I don't want to vote for. You know, and they'll bring up stuff, well, you ain't gonna vote, your auntie and them and all of them march so you can vote, you better vote. You know, they bring up all kinds. If someone, now you got some people who just don't give a fuck about voting. I've always voted. But as a taxpaying citizen, if I choose that I don't want to participate in the lesser of the two evils, because basically your options, if you're black, because none of them have a black agenda. Your situation is basically either play the shit or drink a cup of piss. You don't really have too many options. So the alternative is is Joe Biden, you know. And people are trying to convince themselves to vote for him. People who know it's not the right thing. I've seen people go as far as saying, when you bring up old stuff from the past that he did, rather it was his bill in 1994, or, you know, the mass incarceration and all of the stuff he said, and black folks, some of them will say, well, he's changed. That was a long time ago. I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't give a 70-something-year-old white man who grew up in Jim Crow, civil rights era, benefit of the doubt. You just don't get that from me. I'm sorry. It's kind of like, remember when Paula Deen got in trouble for saying the N-word on camera or whatever, and people were shocked? I'm like, bro, Paula Deen's a 70-year-old white lady from southern Georgia, Savannah or something. Are you really surprised that she said that? Not giving her a pass, but was I shocked? No. And I can't give Joe Biden a pass that he's changed. What example? And people say, well, he ran with Obama. What the fuck does that mean? If anything, you should be looking at Obama differently because he co-signed somebody like Joe Biden and chose him as his running mate, you know? But as far as the Kamala stuff, like I said, you could look at her background, and I remember someone was telling me, oh, this is history. Another black woman is going to be the running mate. I said, well, hold up. Do your research before you start jumping up and down on your couch celebrating. I was like, well, you know, she doesn't even, there's so much stuff about her out there. One of her birth certificates, so she doesn't even identify herself as a black person. She's got Caucasian in there. Her father's Jamaican descent. She's descents of a large slave owner family, you know what I mean, in Jamaica. She spent some years in Canada. Of course, she was a prosecutor in California in the Bay Area, locked up thousands of black men. You know, people are still dealing with that right now. So it's really going to be hard to get that. And that's ironic because if I'm not mistaken, California is a blue state. But I don't think she's going to get too much support from people who have been affected in that area who was around when she was out here prosecuting niggas left and right. You know, so I mean, these articles and all of this stuff, this ain't new. They've been putting this shit out. I just don't like the fact, like I said, you're not gonna guilt me into voting if I don't want to vote because I'm not passionate about either candidate. I think that's some sucker shit. I don't fuck with voter suppression. And I vote out of logic. If you don't have an agenda for me in minds or policies that I feel like make sense, why am I voting for you? Why am I gonna get up early in the morning, stand in line for 2 hours? Because sometimes black people, depending on our voting areas and districts, they'll fuck us up and have us sitting there for 2, 3 hours voting. You hear all kind of horror stories, and it gets discouraging, and people get up and leave. Sometimes they got shit to do. But I'm not gonna. You got to be an idiot to sit there and vote for somebody just for the fuck of it, and you don't know what they're about, and especially if you know what they're about and you know it's not gonna get anywhere. But you got people who are so afraid of Trump they will vote. And it's like if you watch CNN for a whole day, like I know some people watch it religiously, they literally depict Trump like he's the boogeyman, like he's fucking Michael Myers. They do. and every you got people, some of Trump's biggest critics and haters, and I'm not a Trump supporter, but some of the people who are the most critical about him, they keep their eyes glued to the news and the TV. They read every tweet. They read every comment, every blog. I'm like, it's like the guy lives rent free in that brain. And I get it, he's the president, but I haven't seen a president with this much focused detail on him in a long time. I mean, I can't think of too many presidents that people hated to a point where they were willing to, because hate and love is really close as far as the feeling. And I'm like, yo, y'all be fucking letting this man get under y'all skin. Like, it's not even that serious sometimes. He'll say some wild shit. And I'm like, what do you expect? I mean, he's a disrespectful bigot. And he caters to his fan base. His base is that old school, old fashioned, racist, redneck America. And he caters to them any chance he gets. And he's going to say what he feels like. He speaks for them, you know. And like I said, I'm not a fan of him. I don't vote for him. And another thing, they guilt you. Oh, well, not voting for him, not voting for Joe Biden is the same as voting for Trump. If you really believe that America allows the general public to really pick and choose who's going to be in the office, then we should just stop this conversation. Presidents are selected, not elected. As far as this race goes, I have no confidence that Joe Biden or Kamala Harris is going to win that together, whatever. I think it's a blowout. It's like Trump and them is up like 20 in the fourth quarter. I just don't see it. And stop trying to paint black men and black women against each other. Black men who are not interested in Kamala Harris, it has nothing to do with her being a black woman. Cut that shit out. That shit is goofy. Y'all are being too emotional, too sensitive, and you don't make any fucking sense. We don't fuck with her, and it's not just us. It's black women out here too. I'm not gonna vote for her just to make history. She ain't the one. You seen her rabble in that clip about she don't got no fucking agenda for black folks. She don't. She just started identifying herself as a black woman. When was the first, Charlemagne, and they'll get people like Charlemagne to come follow her because he's influential to the black youth. And they had him running around with her for about a whole year. She was going to HBCU colleges to speak, and it didn't work. She dropped out by February. So now you're trying something that didn't work months ago to a year, and now you're trying to do it again. We already know her and Joe Biden don't even fuck with each other like that. She was just calling him out not too long ago. You know what I mean? Now they're together, and we're supposed to just jump in and vote anything but Trump. And like I say, I don't live my life in fear. I never have. I'm almost 30. I'm not going to start now. I'm not that afraid of Trump, let alone as a man or as a president, to fucking vote for somebody I don't fuck with just for the sake of it. So if you're going to vote for Trump because you're that terrified, go ahead, but don't judge us who decide not to do it because we'd rather not waste our fucking time because y'all scared of the boogeyman. Oh, 4 more years. Look, you did 4 already. Is 4 more going to hurt? Yeah, it's going to hurt, but I just don't, I'm sorry, bro. I'm not going to vote out of fear and guilt. So if that's what y'all want to do, go ahead, but don't get mad at other people because they choose not to. You know what I'm saying? As far as the Kamala Harris dirt, like I say, most of that shit is real. You can look it up yourself. Most of it is not photoshopped. And most of this information has been circulating the internet for a while now. Y'all are just now paying attention to it because now the microscope is on her ass. But y'all had an opportunity just a year ago to support this woman, and y'all could have made her the leading Democrat candidate, but you didn't. So Joey came from behind and took that spot. But where was the passion and the support for Kamala Harris a year ago? Where the fuck was it? It wasn't nowhere near. Now, we should all come together and we just got to get 45 out of there by any means. I'm like, you niggas are scared. fucking terrified. You know what I mean? Fucking terrified. Coon buck eyes. You know, terrified of the white man. And I'm sorry. So I mean, that's just me. I've already made my decision. I have nothing to do with it. I will not be participating. You can hate me all you want. You can call me ignorant. You can call me dumb. I voted every single time I've had a chance as an adult. I'm a taxpaying citizen and all that. But nah, I'm not gonna sit here and pick one of the lesser of the two evils because, oh, we can't have Trump come. Nah, man, y'all can have me. Y'all can miss me with that shit, bro.